we had this story this morning that hopefully will help readers really understand the profitability around Oracle's new GPU cloud business, which is really where executives have said the future growth is going. And what we found is that in the last couple of quarters, the gross profit margin on this business fluctuated between 8, 20, and 14%. And, we're sort of shedding some new light on what it's really like for the companies pivoting to this business.
Right.
Software companies are used to much higher margins, but as Oracle makes the pivot into GPU cloud, investors should expect, lower and potentially lumpy margins, at least as they get going.
Right. And we should make clear, I mean, for people who don't know the margins landscape that well, this is low. Okay. Software margins are typically 70, 80%. I mean, these gross margins they are razor thin, as we outlined in the story. Anissa, do we know anything about why these margins are so thin right now? Was this expected?
Yeah, I think one thing I'd point out is that we have oracles, but the other cloud providers don't actually publicly release these numbers, and so it's very hard to find apples to apples comparisons. Companies like Amazon, which traditionally has a net margin, in the 30s, that's across its whole entire cloud business, inclusive of GPUs, but also more traditional workloads and other services. So we have the benefit of seeing Oracle's numbers, but not exactly the full picture on what the entire GPU landscape looks like.
Right.
I think investors thought that, GPUs were going to be lower margin for Oracle, but based on our conversations, these were lower than expected.